Hello and welcome to this explanation of Mo Xiang Tong Xiu's novel, Mo Dao Zu Shi, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation.
Before we start, there are some things you need to know.
For example, the 5 later 4 main sects that are important for the story. The Yunmeng Jiang clan.
You can associate it with the color purple.
The Gusu Lan clan.
You can associate it with the color white or blue.
The Lanling Jin clan.
You can associate it with the color yellow.
The King Ani clan.
You can associate it with the color gray or green.
The Kishinwen clan.
You can associate it with the color red or symbol sun.
Now that you've seen them, it's time to learn some facts. The story of MDZS, Mo Dao Zu Shi, is told through 2 timelines. One which is the current time, and the other which is played out in the past, starting when the protagonist is a teenager. This means that the character that is currently the Xi-Lan leader changes throughout the timelines. I'll show you. In the timeline where Wei Wuxian, the protagonist, is a teenager, Jiang Fengmian is the sect leader of the Jiang clan. But later, in the other timeline, we can see that Jiang Cheng, his son, is the clan leader. If you have read MDZS or seen it, you know that this is because Jiang Fengmian plus the mother of JC dies, and he has to become the clan leader at a young age. As for the other changed clan leaders, here's a speed run. Either way, let's move on to the next topic.
Relationships.
For this topic, I will talk about the canon relationships, romantic or platonic.
Like you probably would not know if you haven't read the novels and only seen the live-action donghua. The 2 main characters, Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji, are married and even has an adopted child together. But besides them, only Jiang Yanli and Jin Zixuan, Jiang Fengmian, and Yu Ziwan, Jin Guangshan, and his wife, Wen Chao, and his girl, Lan Wangji's parents, Jin Guangyao, and his half-sister, wife, are canonical lovers. As for friendships, there is the junior quartet, Song Lan and Zhao Xingchen, and a Qing, Yu Ziwan, and Madame Jen. Wei Wuxian and Jiang Yanli, and Jiang Cheng, Lan Ziken and Jin Guangyao, Lan Ziken and Ni Mingju, Ni Weizeng and Wei Wuxian, and Jiang Cheng, and probably a lot more.
Now let's talk about families.
So the families and related PPL and MDZs are pretty easy to understand except for when it comes to the Jin clan, because everything is fricked up there. Before we start with the normal families, I just want to show how bad it is. So this man right here, Jin Guangshan, is a little of what we would call a womanizer and was often with pretty girls. This led to him having many illegitimate children. 2 of these children later on gets married to each other, Jin Guangyao and Qin Su. They even have a child together that Jin Guangyao then kills so that the world doesn't find out about his secret. Because even though Qin Su didn't know about their relation, he did. And if it doesn't get worse, Jin Guangyao's half-brother falls in love with him. Luckily, Jin Guangyao knows that this is wrong and kicks him out of their clan. And that's basically how the story of MDZs is able to exist.
Now, time for some normal things.
After being with many women, Jin Guangshan settles down with Madame Jin. They have a child together named Jin Zixuan. And if you remember Jin Guanyao, he comes to Lanling and becomes Jin Guangshan's son as well, but more disliked. Jin Zixuan is Jin Zixuan's very annoying cousin. And Jin Ling is Jin Zixuan's son and Jin Guangyao's nephew. So, Yu Ziwan and Jiang Fengmian are married. And even if they're not very compatible, they still gotta make an heir, which they do. That is Jiang Yanli. She's the firstborn child of Yu Ziwan. And if you remember from before, Yu Ziwan and Madame Jin are friends. They even made a promise that if they got to boys as firstborns, they would be sworn brothers. If they got two girls, they would be sworn sisters. But if they got a boy and a girl, they would get married. So the son of Madame Jin and Jin Guangshan, Jin Zixuan, and the daughter of Jiang Fengmian and Yu Ziwan, Jiang Yanli, get married. They even have a son named Jinling, who later on in the end becomes the clan leader of the Jin clan. But the Jiang clan has two more children. 2 or 3 years later they have Jiang Cheng. But Wei Wuxian's case is a little bit different. He is actually the son of Wei Changzi and Kang Sanren. Wei Changzi was a servant of the Jiang clan, and Kang Sanren was a rogue cultivator. Jiang Fengmian was rumored to have been in love with Kang Sanren. It was a long time ago that I read MDZS. But according to Mo Dao Zu Shi.Fandom, this is true. Both of Wei Wuxian's parents died, and he had to live on the street. But it's okay because Jiang Fengmian later takes Wei Wuxian in. The Lan clan is a little special when it comes to love and marriage. Since their founder went and died after his lover died, the clan only falls in loved ones. The uncle of Lan Wangji and Lan Zicken was the man that raised them both. Because after their father had married their mother, he put her in a house and secluded himself until he died when Lan Wangji was about 17. Both Lan Zicken and his younger brother, Wangji, were only allowed to see her once a month. And she died when Lan Wangji was 6. Lan Zicken is about 3 years older than Lan Wangji at most, and they're very close. Lan Jingyi and Lan Sijui are two young disciples of the Lan clan. But, like I said before, Lan Sijui is the adopted son of Lan Wangji. He was originally a Wen, but after the war against Wei Wuxian, his death Lan, Wangji found him all alone and the only survivor of the remaining Wens. After he took him in, when you are now, Lan Sijui lost all his memories. Ni Waizeng and Ni Mingju are half-brothers. Ni Mingju is about 3 years older than his little brother. Someone on Tumblr said that Yanli, Zicken, and Mingju are from the same generation. But I've also seen speculations about Mingju being 5 to 6 years older than Waizeng. When Rohan had two sons before Ni Mingju killed one of them in the Sunshot campaign, a war against the Wen clan. Wing Chao, the remaining son, didn't have any children himself before getting killed. Wen Qing and Wen Ning are the children of Wen Ruhan's cousin. Wen Yuan, or Lan Yuan, Lan Sijui, is the son of Wen Ning and Wen Qing's cousin. I've already talked about him twice now, but he really is the only living Wen clan member left. Wen Ning, now a sentient living corpse, does help Lan Sijui remember his past, and together they visit the place where he grew up. That's all I'm going to talk about for this video. It became much longer than I had expected. If there's any more questions, I'll talk about them in another video, along with explaining how Ni Waizeng really was the mastermind behind everything.
Goodbye.